Waiting for what? Good morning, guys. It's unfortunate that I have to come online. And to my subscribers, I know this is not the proper channel to be speaking on this, but either or, I just felt that I need to maybe put my voice also on the net. I'm a South African, and the countries that are my topic for today are very far away from South Africa, very far away from Africa, in fact. So maybe we shouldn't have any affinity to them. But based on our historical ties with both countries, maybe it's proper to say with the former bigger country they used to belong to, the Soviet Union. We have a lot of ties with them. Some of our struggle heroes were trained in Ukraine, and you would think that we wouldn't be maybe leaning to one side versus the other. Um, but we do owe gratitude to both countries. We owe gratitude to Ukraine, same as we owe gratitude to Russia, but the Soviet Union in essence. Um, yeah, I think this war, or if you want to call it this special military operation, it does need to come to an end, and peace needs to come to these lands. I feel internally that probably creation should have started in those areas, because those people are wonderful people in that part of the region in the world. I don't know, you guys are still cultural, and when I look at some videos about your lands, they actually resemble us here in Africa. We actually wear the same clothes as you. We had sheep, goats, and we do the same things as you. Maybe some of the other activities other people won't be proud, but even the marriage rituals that are performed in some of the former Soviet states, as what we did here in Africa also. So there's a lot of similarities. Um, Human beings are dying on a daily basis. And the worst part is that these countries exist next to each other. That is the worst situation. And these countries might have a bilingual understanding. I think you guys can understand Ukrainians when they speak, or Ukrainians can understand Russians when they speak. It's almost something similar to us and our neighbors here in Southern Africa. Us and Lesotho, we understand each other fluently, Uh, Botswana, we understand them. Namibians, Swazi, all the people around us, we are actually one people. So when I say I also think you are one people, it's the fact that borders are actually an artificial construct. This thing of putting a fence, someone just decides to put a fence wherever they think it's correct to put a fence on. But the essence is that you cut off, it's like the partitioning of our land here in Africa. They broke up so many families in that situation. So my assumption is that every border between countries, there will be some sort of common language understanding between the two, because it's politicians that decide borders. It's not our normal people who are just going up their business, trying to live. So I think also Ukraine and Russia should have these common peoples along the borders. Um, But I wanted to speak on the the egos of human beings. This is the most defeating trait in a human being, that even if you are wrong and you can see internally that you are wrong, now the ego doesn't allow you to admit it, and it doesn't allow you to go to the person you've wronged and ask for forgiveness or come for a truce. It's just the ego. And the ego is also based on what other people are gonna perceive it as. Maybe they're gonna perceive you as a weak person if you go ask for forgiveness or you quit the war. I guess this war is subject to only two people meeting for it to end. Only two people need to meet. I won't even include the US because the US is not in that geographical area. These two Slavic nations need to sit down because Ukraine is not going to move to the continent of the Americas. It will always be Russia's neighbor, regardless of what transpires in this war. So these two peoples, regardless of whatever is happening, I think you should put your citizens first now. I understand that some other side feels that it's defending their peoples, but how do you define that? Because most of the Soviet Union speaks Russian, so you'll probably have to defend all Russians in every country. I mean, I think it's just time for the two leaders to swallow their pride, both of them. You know, Russia's claim, I won't say it's not legitimate. It does sound legitimate. You know, Ukraine, you can say is the victim in the situation because it's their part of the the border, it's their land. So you can understand Russia's claim that why is this military alliance coming closer to me? You know, why are they building bases around us? You can understand that because Russia has got a historic legacy of defending its border. It's been attacked a lot of times. So you can understand that anxiety. Now, I feel that Ukraine could have simply just said, okay, we won't join these guys, it's fine. Then no one dies, you know, because when I listen to those demands, it just seems like if Ukraine can say, we won't join this guy, then it's finished. Then Russia can just go back to Russia, simple. I don't know the dynamics of politics, but as a layman, it just sounds clear that if the president of Ukraine says to the president of Russia, there won't be US or NATO people in our lands, we will stay neutral, then Russia needs to present why it is going into Ukraine, you know, and then maybe also say that we are not banning the Russian language and we are not gonna be fighting people who want to separate. I doubt there will be people who want to separate from Ukraine if there is no NATO whatever association. So I'm not trying to blame Ukraine. I'm just saying they've got the right to accept NATO or not accept NATO. So Russia's anxiety is Ukraine do not accept NATO because I don't want NATO closer to me. You are a buffer between me and NATO. That's the essence of what I'm hearing, you know? So also in a bigger scheme, a wider scheme of things, I think NATO also has a part to be blamed because we also do not see why are they coming closer to Russia. But guys, you can let me know in the comments if I'm just spewing a nonsense. But I wish peace on Russia and Ukraine. I wish you guys can find a settlement to this war. Two guys, swallow your two prides because both of you are too proud. I can see both of you when I watch you speak. You are too proud of yourselves and you are not in the front lines, both of you. Maybe you need a ring, boxing ring together, beat each other up. Armies must stay away. Gloves, gloves, beat each other. The one who wins is the one who wins. Then decision can be taken because now you're involving a lot of people in a squabble that is between politics. It's not even a squabble of the two peoples. Now the two peoples are beginning to hate each other because of politics. From South Africa, we wish Russia and Ukraine to find a solution to this. We hope there won't be hatred because we know after a war between bordering nations there's always a hatred of the peoples. But the peoples forget that this is always instigated by politics. It's not that the normal human being in Russia hates the normal human being in Ukraine. I think they also have family in both sides. Guys, let me know what you think. I hope God comes to that land, and because I know it's